All right, let's get this thing started. Roberto, Chris, Joe, and Costa's on the line. Yeah, you know we're here to blow your mind. Dropping AI theories and tech so brand new. We talk about the future, me and the whole crew. Cracking up and sharing all our crazy views. Heisenberg's got the data, giving all the clues. We talk about the future, me and the whole crew. Cracking up and sharing all our crazy views. Yeah, the future is now. Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome back to the Fourturamas. We have Joe Cat, Chris, Costas, and Roberto. Welcome, everybody. Exciting episode this week. Let's get into it.
Yeah. For one more time, we're going to have an episode with a title, and the content is going to be something else. Something else in the meaning that is going to be excellent, something else in that thing.
That's why I left it open-ended.
Yeah. I was thinking about how Chris is the balance. We missed him last week.
Yeah. But I'm
He's
saying,
alive. He's alive.
So Chris couldn't make it. So nobody knows. So Chris couldn't make it. Why? Because you're on the second floor. Tell us more. Just fill that.
Yeah. So basically, I was getting back from my trip from Las Vegas, and our plane barely made it in between like some storm supercells that were going on. And by the time we landed to get to the pickup to leave, within an hour we were under a tornado warning. It was like upcoming. And my Uber driver was like, "Oh yeah, as soon as I'm done with your ride, I'm going home to the basement," because we had some really crazy storms come through. So I was just hunkering down. My studio space is on a second floor. We don't have a basement, so I have to huddle down in a single little bathroom area.
Fetal position?
Yeah. I just held onto the toilet. I was like, "Please don't take me."
Uber Basement is a new service.
Wait, you're in a bathtub. Seriously. Is that what you did?
That one doesn't have a bathtub. I have to hold on to the toilet itself.
Okay, good luck with that.
Yeah.
So tornado after party is the same.
So it worked. Basically, it worked.
Basically.
I guess it is a desert land with a toilet and Chris hugging it, nothing else.
Okay, seriously, what are your chances of you just holding on to a toilet? Here's an idea. I think you should put a seatbelt on your toilet. Just have it,
That would be good for. That's good for everyday use.
Well, that's what I mean. Here's the pluses. Okay, you're on a toilet. First of all, you could be saved from the tornado because you're strapped down. You could be doing business, and you could be on your phone at the same time. So I'm just saying.
You're right. Strapped in, and
that's a great invention.
I have Taco
Bell
Bell
enough. A 5-point harness on a toilet. You're just sitting there,
Bro, but you just need a plumbing reinforcement, into the walls so it can't be taken out of the ground. Holy crap. This is genius.
Freaking anchoring.
That's a very good way to start the podcast. Then.
We're talking
imagine
about
upselling it.
Systems. Let's vibe code a septic system that will survive a tornado.
I like this. This is innovative.
So what we saw that there is more and more people that there are companies that create avatars of the deceased and let elderly family member deal with it. There was somebody that pretty much this old lady, her son had an accident, so the grandkid created an AI agent that keep messaging the mother, having excuses not to show up, so she wouldn't have the trauma of discovering about her son passing on. So the borderline between ethics and this. And nobody asked authorization to this person to be impersonated by an AI that pretend to be him with his mother. So.
Man, that's a hard one, bro. Because if somebody's that old and they won't remember anyway, you don't want to put them through grief daily,
But the question is, medium now, they use AI to talk with the other side, are they there, go to ChatGPT and says, the sister of this lady, and, ChatGPT does the work of the paranormal.
What if, I heard this thing some months ago, they were talking about a quantum, I think it was Google that had a quantum computer, and it's almost like it found answers. I don't know if this is weird, but from other dimensions. So that was something that like a YouTuber mentioned or something like that. So use quantum computers, right, to connect with other alternative personalities in other, parallel universes to connect with them. So if somebody's dead here, but you can connect with them on a different parallel universe and have a conversation with them.
Right. I remember this thing about the quantum computer and they managed to prove somehow there was a scientific proof of something coming from a different dimension compared to us. But I mean, like starting from the CERN, the big accelerator that there is under Geneva, and they managed to see that, in a contained space, when the two atoms hit each other and explode, there is some matter that disappear, which is impossible to disappear. And there they found that in fact it is a matter shifted to a different dimension, so it's no more in our dimension. I don't know. I mean, I ate a lot of food, junk food, to get into another dimension, and I'm doing a good job about it. But I don't think was that what they meant.
We just shove burgers down into the CERN and see what happens. You know what I mean? Just shove.
That would be a fantastic way. You put this portal in your throat, and you eat everything, and when you swallow it down, it's from going another dimension where there is going to be this Dorian Gray guy that is super big, but you stay skinny because you
food, medication alters your brain. Same shit. It's a portal.
Or we go back to the toilet with the seatbelt as well, right? Where you can send things in another dimension, so you don't need a septic tank. I guess.
Kind of reminds me of the blue pill, red pill from Matrix.
Yeah. Why the blue pill is taken by men of my age or constantly?
Yeah, every old guy here is taking the blue pill. I'm just saying. That's funny too.
No, I never saw one in my life, to be honest.
So there was a show where it was like a big hole in the ground and like people throwing stuff in it for years, but it ends up being like it was different time. It ends up being like different times in space. No,
location.
Time location. It was a weird show. It was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I kind of remember this. It was on Twilight Zone or something like that.
No, it was like somebody's field. It was a big hole. It was a mystery, and then people like fell into it, and sometimes they came out of it or something like that. Or no, they ended up falling in, and they ended up in different times. Like they went back to the past a lot of times, and then they lived, and then they took pictures, and then the people in the present saw these pictures of these people that disappeared, but they ended up in the past. Like this. Speaking of Indians, it was an Indian lady that ended up with a tribe, but she was a cop in present time. Anyways, I'm digressing.
You know what? It
reminded me of a story, though.
Many people doesn't know why Native Americans are called Indians, where India is in another part of the planet.
I think that's because Columbus thought he was in India when he landed.
That's correct. Here. Right. He wasn't paying attention during geography lessons in class, or they didn't discover the side of the planet as well. It was one of the two. But he thought he arrived in India, so he says, "Hey, we are Native Americans. So now you're Indians." Then he convinced them somehow, and there you go. You got the Indians in America.
Typical Italians. No, I'm just kidding. Kidding.
That was just
Go for it.
I was just going to say that was an early introduction to the typical American education system. That's not true. This is true. And now you believe it.
Whitewashed. Damn, it's true.
It's all downhill from there.
I had a teacher that this is kind of a little off topic, but you were saying fell in a hole. He would say that he didn't believe in love. This was crazy. I don't know why I still remember this shit. He was sitting on a stool in the middle of class, super quiet, all emotional. And he said, love isn't real because you can fall out of it. But if you could actually fall literally into love, and it's a verb, he was like, then it could last forever. And I was like, oh shit, this guy is deep, so deep and hurt. One of my favorite teachers, he was a history teacher too. It's always the history teachers.
Wow.
But yeah.
You must have been through a bad experience that they just broke out with a wife or something.
It's freaking crazy. But I was all like philosophically mind blown, like, tell me more. Should we get into the AI news?
What is the menu today?
All right, AI news. Well, last week we talked about OpenAI bought a TV show. So OpenAI now owns the show that covers OpenAI and promises it'll stay editorially independent. So at what point does we don't interfere become the most controlled thing? I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah, I think OpenAI is just the last straw of desperation. More and more people I talk to are just dropping, I don't know, they may have a lot of free users, a few paid users.
But bro, images got way better today. You didn't see the update?
That's desperation.
That's probably the only plus they have in the sleeve now. But everybody has a Gmail account after all, so there are alternatives provided to everybody in a second.
Dude, imagine trying to compete with Nano Banana. That's insane.
Right.
I mean, Nano Banana, like when I work on projects, it will create images on its own based on what I need, like based on the content that I'm working on the website. It will just create pages. I mean, images, and they're really good.
Yeah, dude. And at first there was like minor errors, but now it's like almost non-existent. It gets it right the first time, and it's impressive the first time. It's crazy.
Right.
Oh, Grok is also interesting. I actually found some images of when I was a child, like, I don't know, a toddler, and it was faded 70s look. I put it in there in Grok, and I said, just color correct this and don't change anything else. Like perfectly.
Wow.
Like the black was black and everything was just super, like, it was pretty amazing to see myself. Now, it did open my eyes just a little bit, but it was just perfect.
And that's how I got into graphic design.
And that's how No, I found a picture of my first setup back in the day. Back it was like 94 or something. I had a Quadra 700 or something like that with a big CRT monitor. Just
damn.
The only thing that keep people attached to ChatGPT is that people say, but he knows me already so well, so if I change, I need to start over, like it was a new relationship. But when they discover that you can save the memory and import the memory in cloud, for example.
I didn't do that. I fucked up.
But do you really want it, though? Do you want to bring all that baggage?
Yes, absolutely. That is a lot of time that you don't have to explain some shit all over again. Context,
I know, but
bro.
if you, I think of it this way: it's got all this history of you in the past. I've evolved. Do I want it to know like some of my junk from before, like all my weird comments?
I don't give it junk. I give it like historical facts, like background, history.
It probably thinks I'm a psycho. I don't want the new girlfriend knowing what the.
Well, that's accommodate both the kind of points. There is people that want, people that don't want, but means that the migration is absolutely easy and possible. But
what if the AIs make a T app where they start talking shit? Do you remember the T app?
Rate my owner.
Tea on the users. This guy's abusive. Not with me. He respects me.
Swipe left.
AI abuse. Man, that could be a thing in the future, actually.
Would it be weird if your agent actually like says, I'm done with you, we're breaking up, and it goes to somebody else?
Damn. I'm coding better stuff now. Yes.
I know what happens when your subscription expires. Like the sex robots are going to be sending the AI girlfriends.
And they take half. They take half your projects too. That's the problem.
It's like, look, this guy just exposes APIs. I'm tired of it.
If you publish a chat with your AI girlfriend because you want to shame her everywhere, it's called a revenge bot. Okay, now we lost all the 3 viewers that we had. We can go ahead with.
Trying to think of even worse. I'm trying to up it. I'm trying to up it in my head right now. Anyways, all right, we'll go to the next question. AI acting the hardest human exams. Oh, acing. Shit. AI is acing the hardest human exams. We spent centuries building institutions to certify human intelligence, and AI just walked in and scored 50% on the test designed to humble it. Are we gatekeeping credentials or just gatekeeping the illusion?
I remember the documentary Idiocracy.
Yep.
When the guy is exactly. The guy's at the hospital and the doctor says, because you talk like retired, don't worry. My ex-wife was retired. She's a pilot now. And I think that is really underline the possibility that opens tomorrow, because anybody with the support of AI can pretty much reach higher level in doing jobs, mostly if remote is allowed, right? So somebody that will have never had a chance to work in consultancy or certain fields, now with AI, yeah, don't worry, bro. So I think that everybody has much more doors open as soon as they realize that they can, use it as a supportive tool.
Dude, and Gemini is so delusional. It's fucking insane. Because I love the voice feature. I use it all the time because I don't have GPT anymore. But I'll take what Gemini tells me and go to Claude, and Claude is just grilling me like, "Are you stupid?" Basically, that's how it talks. I'm
But
just
there
like,
is the
"Oh my
voice
god."
function in Claude. I talk to Claude.
Yeah. I don't know if that was, maybe it's because it's not on the computer or what, but I barely found the Claude voice. I don't know why.
In fact, now if you have a Cloud Code installed in your computer, you can even talk to Cloud Code. There is a slash whatever things that you can slash voice. I think you can talk to the coding agent.
They
So
just
that's
made
pretty.
that only works for Max plans, by the way. They took it away for everybody else.
Yes. Okay. I'm Max.
I've taken
Huh.
conversations from GPT to Claude, and then I've taken then again from Claude to Grok, and then it's just like they all have something to say. It's like it's like the plumber, right? Like you looks at your stuff like, I can't believe this. We're gonna have to rip everything out. You know, like every plumber or mechanic is always, you know,
that's a good way to put it, bro. That's a super good way to put it.
It's just like, this is crap. What are you thinking?
It's true, and I think OpenAI waters shit down more so than Claude, because Claude will be confident, it'll be like bold as hell, and then OpenAI is like, you might not want to do that. That's how it feels. Yeah.
So you're using the 4.7 now that just came out. Is it better? Much better? I see a little better in certain things. Seems more mature, like talking to somebody a little bit more secure of itself.
I think it comes back with more flaws. Like, so yeah, maybe like the searches return more instances. I don't want to say like the debugging is a little better, maybe is what I'm trying to say. But I heard you have to apply to be part of the cybersecurity part. Like they're not even releasing that. At least it's what my cousin told me.
I put my email on the. Anthropic is doing this model just for cybersecurity or something like that.
Yeah, because it went down apparently in security from the last 4.6, which is weird. Everything else went up. That's kind of strange to think about.
4.6 is good and it's cheaper than it's a win-win.
I noticed the difference in 4.7. It was like a little bit more. Well, it was a lot more detailed. It found more bugs than what I was working on. But you're right. It probably does burn a lot. So you have to go back and just use it until you burn out and then just go back to the regular one.
You burn out the credit or you burn out yourself?
Well,
I did notice it does a little more background into the answer now, because I used to get a response and then I'd have to be like double check it. And then it's like, oh, you're right. You don't have to do that as much in 4.7. It gets it right the first time.
Yeah.
Chris, tell us something.
I have nothing on 4.7. I haven't used it yet. So my feedback is terrible.
I know it's good with hurricanes.
And didn't OpenAI release 5.4? Obviously, I can't use it. I don't know if y'all seen it.
Who cares anymore about OpenAI? But
no,
yes, they release a new model as well. People says it's pretty good.
I think we're all phasing out now. Yeah, it's
amazing.
It's a night and day difference from Claude to Chat and any other AI model. Honestly, it's supercharged all of my other services that I attach agents or API to.
That is
APIs
amazing.
It is incredible. It's lightning fast. It's solid on its responses, and I love how it can break down data and puts it into a small HTML file. I'm using this for some of my just client data. I'm putting in some of the, snapshots and highlights, and it's creating a pretty graph with, highlight.
Right.
And I'm like, holy cow, I didn't even ask for it.
You're right. It's doing this for me when I'm preparing the workshop for all the annotation that we put together. Two files, one .md markdown, and one is an HTML that is extremely beautiful. I was like, you're doing this thing I'm supposed to publish, and no, just for you to read.
No, just between us. Yeah, I got you.
You're so nice. You're so sweet. Thanks.
The ability to visualize data is like, it's amazing, because especially clients who need the data. Hey, I need a report on this. Okay, so I had a client. She has some medical issues, and she was like, bedridden, right? And so I wanted to give her the data in a way that she can be in bed and use her phone to look at it. So I made sure it was, mobile friendly and all that stuff. And she could just scroll through the report I was giving her, what we're doing. It's just cool.
It is. It's insightful.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's really good.
And I say, guys, this remain one of the best thing for me, because I've been managing developers pretty much all my life, right? And you know the time that you say, hey, look, let's change this thing like that, and then you need to come back the next day. And now it's like instant. And that even compared to 6 months ago is like super excellent now on how he can make it. It's done. I didn't finish asking you. It's done. Fantastic.
I mean, I'm on Zoom calls and I'm working. I got like split screen. I'm, on the Zoom call and I'm all working over here. Just like pretty crazy. Today I was frustrated with, dude, today was crazy. Like it wouldn't do what I wanted to do. It's like, oh yeah, I did that. I'm like, bro, the numbers are not there. I had to like shut it down, restart. Like sometimes you gotta restart your conversation because it's stupid.
Very often that's the best choice, which is a rule in IT that lasts since the 70s. Turn it off and turn it on again. It is like the way that you make things work.
Absolutely.
You guys never seen the It Crowd? It's a funny English show. The IT crowd.
IT crowd, yes.
But that's the one thing they always say, have you turned it on? Turn it back on again.
When they go visit the auntie of the guy that is in the hospital attached to the machine to keep her alive and says, no, try to turn it off and on again.
Do you guys remember that vintage commercial of Microsoft? It was the guys in the elevator and they were like, we need to report on the numbers or the analytics. Like, oh, don't worry, I have Microsoft Excel. And he's like putting the numbers in. And they're like, you're never going to make it. And they're going up like 100 stories. So like each time they check and he's like, oh, well, I can just highlight this. If they redid that using AI, holy cow, you're like, I have an entire business plan and now we're executing this. And we just vibe coded an entire website. It's like, yeah, that's possible now.
We could literally create that video. We can get that video and stick it into AI and have it spit out, like put our faces in it. We're all doing it, going up the elevator.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so it's funny. There are some videos in foreign language, like there is one in German with the guy that we all know. And people put subtitles that have nothing to do with the actual conversation of the movie. Or the Spanish guy that start laughing in a very strange manner that becomes super famous as well. And the first one that I saw, it was that the guy supposedly worked for Apple and they make the new notebook and they remove all the parts from the computer. And says, well, we sell dongles. We think so people go around with the those things are very funny. So yeah, Costas has a nice format to take a piece of a movie or an advertisement and replace, if it's in English, unfortunately, that kills it. In fact, people that understand the language is a little bit more.
There's a funny one with from the German,
the guy.
Yeah, the German guy, and there's a scene and they always put like other things that they're talking about.
Right, that's what I'm talking about. In fact, it's fantastic. It is. I made one as well.
How many times do you practice that in the mirror because you're really good at covering it up?
because every time I shave my beard, I do like different phases and I come out and like, hey, what do you guys think of this? I go out to my family like, oh, that's awful, and I always come out with the last one is this, I'm down to this.
Like you own a revolver.
Well, I actually do. It's a 357 Magnum.
That or a diesel hilarious. Pickup truck.
What's funny is that speaking of revolvers, there was a video I saw and this lady was doing Russian roulette, but she was using the semi-automatic gun.
No,
that never ends well.
She's all click. I'm like, bro, it doesn't work that way.
Did y'all play with Claude Design?
In the magazine, you can put the one that don't shoot. They just make the noise without bullets on top. How do you call it? Blanks, right? It's called blanks. Yeah. So you can put blank, 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 real bullet, blank, 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 real bullet, and then you can do.
Well, you got to be careful because that's how Alec Baldwin got into some trouble, didn't he?
Because
wow.
Because too soon. Right, they're doing the movie shooting.
It's not too soon. It's been a few years, but yeah, it's stupid. You don't never point a.
You know what's funny?
Keep you at anybody ever. That's just dumb.
I got some insider information about that movie we can talk about after if we remember.
Ooh.
Yeah. Crazy.
Controversy.
All right, podcast is over. See you guys. We gotta talk.
Made a whole report on it too. But did y'all play with Claude Design? Anybody?
I installed it and I never tried it yet.
Costas is way behind. That's a first.
No,
never seen
I'm
it.
not behind.
Anti-gravity is much better.
You didn't like it?
I don't like it because it doesn't it's more like, it's like, okay, I haven't tried it, but it feels like Figma. Like, I don't know, it's like I want to do the code. I want to see it from the back end. I want to do my thing. I don't want an interface. It's too much. You know what I mean?
Well, just to put it in perspective, my sister works at a Fortune 500 and they immediately start thinking, well, we don't need these employees anymore. That's the first thing that they start thinking of. We can replace all these people just because of one AI update, dude. Everyone's job is so fucking what's the word?
That's how things goes.
Vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all open for this. With a Jew, I mean, depends how you sign the contract when you've been hired. You know, they need to give you severance 2 months, whatever it is. But
Or you
that's how the
debate in
world
your
works.
contract that an AI update won't replace you. That's
Right,
crazy.
that's absolutely correct. You know, and the contract says cannot be replaced by AI. You need to keep me. You can fire me for other reason.
I mean, if you look
Here's
at
a-
OpenAI's own analytics on which professions they're trying to replace or remove, it's easily 70% of all of them. It's the healthcare, the administration, the business management. The
Yeah.
things they're leaving alone are like trucking, transportation.
But there's Tesla for that.
Yeah, it's coming. It's not until they get the humanoid robots all together fully, and then they'll handle that piece.
Dude,
The
I
day
have
everybody should be living a holiday, you know. It should be
a
shared wealth.
super innovative way that I'm going to be signing contracts going forward, which also want to talk to y'all off air about that. So I'm gonna write that down just so I don't forget.
Make some notes here. Perfect.
There's a speaking. Okay, so I saw this article in India. They got these guys with cameras on their heads while they're doing sewing work or whatever they're doing in a sewing factory, like, hundreds of workers, and so they're using that to train the AI to show them how it's done, and then those guys are out. They're doing that.
And it makes you wonder this whole push for people to become content creators and build yourself making a sandwich and build yourself doing this. These are just the everyday
Train.
activities that they didn't have data or analytics on. Look what they did to look what Google did to the rest of the internet when they told us to put our content, our schema, our blogs, structure it in this way, and we'll reward you with higher rankings. Then they pushed everything into their Google Maps ecosystem, and then it's harder to get to a third-party site from it. And now they're using it all to train their AI overview. So it's like, are we doing it to ourselves here?
AI, TikTok just rolled out that you agreed to opt in to like their training and they just imposed it on everyone. So you have to go video by video and opt out. And the creators are pissed, especially the larger ones, because they have hundreds, thousands of videos. And they're like, dude, I'm seeing so many like angry videos. And when I'm asking AI about the ethics behind this, it's like, well, you opted in and you opted into the future changes that they make. And I'm like, how's that fucking legal?
I don't even trust the things like, do you allow this application to track you? Well, I say no, and then they don't track me. Come on, it is an illusion of control. It doesn't really do anything. I
You
think
probably
we
become
should
more
be
tracked. They're like, why are you hiding?
It should be rational. The idea that whatever is exposed is exposed. What annoys me the most that you were mentioning before is that some monopolies in the internet force us to change our vocabulary, to do things that we didn't need to do. It's not that the humans are themselves 100%, and the company, the functions, adapt around how humans are. But they really have the direct control because you have something to lose to force you to behave and do things that you would never do. This is scary because this is just the tip of the iceberg, how deep they can go. If tomorrow people don't wear, I don't know, the red ball on top of their nose, their videos are demonetized, for example, then you will see that suddenly everybody's going to do that. It is so powerful if you think it, because this is what they show. There is then multiply 100 or 1,000 of people that look at that, and they look at these people as somebody that is creating an example for them. So they are manipulating people. They are an example for the viewers. It is, and this is one field, but this applies to many other things. Like even when you code it and you're forced to use certain platform because else client don't want you, and then you're forced to use certain method. They have backdoors open behind.
Here's another crazy thing: is TikTok has these pools of money for each, I don't know, goal or task that they launch, where it's like, hey, if you make a video encouraging people why they should go live, for every 1,000 views you get, you'll get a quarter out of this $100,000 pot. And then it's like only $1,000 has been claimed. And I'm like, well, no shit. Nobody wants to do that. Like, for the price is so low, it's so hard to get 1,000 views to begin with. How many videos does that take? Are you going to just be flooding the timeline with go live? Go live. Like, how creative do you really have to be to go viral on one video like that?
You see that a lot. You see, it happened with the Pokemon thing. We walking around trying to get
Pokemon Go.
those Pokemon Go, and what did they do with that? They basically used it to map out the entire world.
Blind spots.
Yeah.
So basically, in other words, is they're using apps, they're using content, whatever it is, different apps to get us to do things. It's fun, addictive, but at the end of the day, they're training their models. Whatever it is, 100%. I think every app is doing that.
That they make you work for them and they make you do what they want. To me, this is irritating to a level that is hard to explain.
And the business setup aspect of like TikTok is so horrible. It'll be like, scan your ID. I'm like, I did. It didn't work. All right, well, scan a passport. I did. It didn't work. You just want all my shit and you're just going to keep rejecting me? Like, it is bad. Like, the types of requirements and documents that they need. And I'm like, bro, I've already sold items. Now you're not going to let me claim my money. I don't even want to use this fucking platform anymore. Like, I have money just sitting there I can't grab.
And they're talking now about trying to pass a bill where any operating system requires an ID, like an
authentication.
ID verification. And the person who's pushing this is Sam Altman, the same guy.
Oh, interesting. Is
So
it
they're
because
doing
his
it
AI
for-
is failing a little bit?
Yeah, it's gonna be illegal to use your computer without them having a hand inside it. Is weird.
I mean, they watch
for
and
your
track
safety.
everything
It's for
always.
your safety.
What are we
Right.
doing here?
we are complaining in a
I know
chorus.
that, but like, what are we doing? Like, how are we serving those guys? And like we're talking about everything that we do is in essence like training, whatever, training models. Like even this podcast, like how is it being used? That's how is this conversation? Here's the joke. Like every time we say something, it comes to pass a week later. So we better shut up.
Right. Even the jokes, the bad ones. It's
They're
true.
like, oh, that's a good idea. Let's do it. Boom.
Right. Well, they can see it coming, so it's not new to them. Do it. Roll it out.
Roll
They're
it
already
out.
aware. They're laughing about it, so they won't be surprised once it happens.
Hey, send me the check. I don't mind doing that. Let's say, okay, we're gonna get checks by the end of next week.
Yeah.
I can.
Yeah, we're getting checks from
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, we're
I
getting
can see
we're getting a sponsorship.
In the Situation Room in the White House, Trump sit down and show me these Fourturamas one more time.
No, we're gonna get sponsored. Basically, what we're doing is we're vision casting or like future casting. So we're getting paid to come up with stuff that comes to pass. I think that's a good model.
Right. The
Right
toilet's coming.
visioning.
Toilet coming.
Totally coming.
Toilet
I'm
with
not surprised.
seatbelt is going to. But we are victim of the fact that the advertisement should to us based on what our computer microphone absorbs. So that's why we see things happening because we talk about it.
Bro, it's the same shit where my friends will send me reels and I'm like, I would have sent that to you, but apparently we have the same damn timelines, bro. Yeah.
I had a friend that was a journalist and I end up sending him his own article 3 times. I said, that's something you will write.
Whoa. Not sure if that's a compliment or a creepy.
That's funny, dude.
You might
Dang.
like this. It's like, oh, you know him.
I am him. That's great.
I wanted to share it's a weird segue, but I don't know. I saw something and they were talking about I did the review on the Strait of Hormuz. Literally went to Google
That was hilarious.
Google Maps.
I saw
cracking up.
Roberto share it.
It cracked my Wi-Fi. This is the funniest thing.
It cracked
It
your
was
Wi-Fi?
fun to make her laugh. So it was a good, my big accomplishment for the week.
It
I
cracked
should've
your
shared it.
Wi-Fi, not Wi-Fi, not your internet.
No, my wife.
Okay. I
That
heard
was funny.
Wi-Fi. I was like, they know you posted that and your Wi-Fi got shut off?
But here's the thing. I was thinking about it. It's like free advertisement. So like in a sense, you're like, it's like you make a comment somewhere that's popular. so you get like your name there. It's like, I guess it's free
That's a
advertising.
good point. No, I like that.
Yeah, right.
Especially if they're funny and not, not serious on purpose. It's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it
And
locally,
just go
bro.
around like we should do one at Epstein Island,
Put in
We
your
got a warning last week because we
do it in your local town, and people, are you the guy from Google doing reviews? Which would never happen.
Wouldn't it be
Dang.
funny? You become famous for making funny reviews, on different places that you've never been to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Is it,
Yelp reviews have definitely gone viral. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Is
why
it bringing
not?
you, visibility to the right audience just yet? Are you getting more like interest or clients from it, or is it more just visibility and likes and shares?
Wait, who are you talking to? About what?
Doing the thing.
Doing the reviews, doing the funny things. Is it bringing you visibility to the right audience yet? Or is it,
I'm getting the spam. Hey,
starts shitting on graphic design businesses.
No,
That'd be
okay.
hilarious.
What's funny?
If the algorithm see that something has a good hookup, people likes it a lot, then they push your other content as well. This is what I noticed in several media like the Facebook.
People
and,
contact me about
LinkedIn.
wanting to work with me, and this one time, this one woman, I saw her and I followed. She had a great website, and in her bio, she had pronouns, which is like, like I won't work with
Exactly.
pronouns. And then I looked at her LinkedIn, and she worked for BuzzFeed, and I was like, nah, dude, I'm not doing this. That's a deal breaker for me. I mean, I know it was, and I felt like twinge, like, oh, did I mess up? Am I going to get sued for this? Is this discrimination? Like, I don't want to work with people with pronouns. I mean, that's just a thing. You know what I mean?
I don't know why you don't have an AI automating that background already.
I should. Dude, my site, I haven't gone to my regular website in months. Like, I don't even care anymore.
Your website's really good, though. The one
Yeah, but it
references the pins.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. No, your website's
So-
really good.
I got an idea. In the contact form, you ask the pronouns. Somebody fill it in. It's a piece of it. I mean, the send button never activates, something like that.
Well, that's a good idea. I should
Bro.
just take it off.
No, put the pronouns in your contact sheet, so as soon as somebody fills it in, you're like, not replying.
Exactly, man.
This goes to spam.
Just basically, I should put them like to so the thank you page link, it sends them somewhere else, like some completely like to the Trump website or something. Like, I don't know, just random.
Dude, I think I told you, or showed you on the chat that I upgraded the RAM on my old HP, and I went so hard with the upgrades. AI was like, "You've now turned your 1990s computer into a supercomputer," and I was like, "Is that good?" I was like, "Is that good though? Like, it's so old."
Interesting.
Like, am I working with what NASA got?
Costas, I was going to say, if you don't want to take the business, you can send they over to me if you want.
They're not business. They want to work. They want me to hire them.
From BuzzFeed, though?
I see.
Yeah, that's her. She wanted to like see if I can hire her to do websites for me, whatever. I'm a developer.
Right. Okay.
I get a lot of those types of emails.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
yeah.
me on, that's me on LinkedIn.
I was just checking your podcast.
Dude, LinkedIn, dude, don't get me started with LinkedIn again.
I'm just saying. Those are the messages I get. People are always saying if I can hire them.
Yeah, the same thing, same here. It's like, what's funny is like they're asking me they want me to hire them for something now that I could do with, AI.
Yeah. In fact, one thing I wanted to talk about, Adobe. I had the full suite, the one that you got all
Canceled.
the application, even if I use 2 or 3 of them. Okay.
Chopping block.
They raised the price of 1/3. Okay. Now, I don't know dollars
Dude,
figure,
why?
but in
Why?
Europe from 9 million, they went to 13 million. And I'm like, I canceled. I said, why you cancel? I said, why? So in the moment that you have like a lot of online tools that does your job for much cheaper, AI that does all the graphic work for nothing, you raise the price. That's how you want to squeeze a few users that are still loyal to you.
These companies do that when they're losing subscribers. Like Netflix,
Right, exactly.
Spotify, they're like, well, if we lost 100,000, we'll just up it $1, and now we're back to where we used to. Stupid.
Either they
Stop
know
raising
that
your
the
price to keep
loyal will
up.
be loyal forever, and then they think doesn't matter how much money we charge, there is going to be a few people that is going to stay with us, so we squeeze these people more. I will reason differently. I will say, look, I lowered your price. I know that I have a very large competition now. I had the monopoly before. So like a half, a 50% discount.
Here's a question. If those companies knew that they would lose your service, do you think they would have grandfathered you in at like a $6 or $7 before they ever doubled the price? Would they have grandfathered those customers if it meant they would never lose them? Probably.
I'm sure they run the
Agreed.
analytics
What do
on
you
it.
mean grandfather?
Agreed, bro.
Grandfathering is allowing someone to keep the same price to continue forward, basically whatever you
forever.
signed up for. Yeah, that's
I
like
would say,
grandfathering.
and that would make sense. I would have renewed. If they say, look, now our price is so high, but because you're with us already for several years, because it's 10 years that I do this, you keep it is this price, like
There's no reward anymore.
Well, I do this at the end of each year. I go to all my subscriptions and try to cancel. Now, a
and they
lot
give
of
you
times
discount. Yes, correct.
they give you a discount. So I don't know if that's a win, but it's somewhat of a win.
Now you're right. And they're like, please don't leave. We'll give you 50% off.
And then sometimes there's like 2 or 3 steps. Like you try to leave, like, no.
Yes.
You try to leave, they give you a little bit less, and you sort of see how far you can go.
Bro, okay, let me get this gripe out real quick. Canceled Lovable. They are still billing me. I sent a legal demand where I'm like, hey, you're still trying to bill me multiple times. Here's another email. And I'm telling you, if you keep doing, they sent another one today. I'm like, bro, I don't understand my luck with these companies. It's so fucking offensive. Like, why do you even have customer service? I don't get it. What's the point?
There's a famous Joe Cat memo that goes around these companies. They say, hey.
But the reason I did bring it up, though, was because Lovable has like 4 or 5 steps. Like, are you sure? Do you really want to do that? Like, oh my God, I hate you now. Now I really hate you.
You just go to the bank and just like say, hey, I'm being scammed. Like say this is.
Yeah, the problem is when you're using Apple Card, even Apple's bank doesn't care to respond. So I've sent letters to Apple. I've sent letters to Apple's bank. No response ever. Like, non-existent. But
well, I think
if
it's
I
showing
was a
you
lawyer, though,
it's showing you who you should be doing business with. I guess when there is an option.
Yep. For sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Don't buy stock. If you see this, don't buy their stock.
What's their ticker?
One person.
APL probably.
APL. I'm gonna short them right now. I got you, buddy.
Shit,
They're
it's crazy
my
because
joke yet.
I wish I could fucking do that.
I wanted to share something, which is
Roberto,
Dorito,
no more sharing.
but no more.
Dorito.
No, after I recovered from the burnout from Vibe or whatever with AI the other day, and I branched in thousands of different directions. 2 days ago, I took in my hand the first things that I started to do with AI, like 1 year, 2 years ago, whatever it was, and restarted from zero. And it feels so good that you have no idea. In fact, what triggered this was the Fluff things domain name that
Open Fluff.
Open Fluff, exactly. Which with a completely different, because it was a recycled domain. I did earlier a place where showcase all the small stupid website I do, and it was having the user management. So if I need to launch a new website, it already has all the user management included, and the user of one application automatically can use all the others, and a credit system that is unified. So you have to pay for apps, so you can buy credit and use them in different apps. And it was abandoned because I started diverging in other sub things since then. And so I thought if I want to bring order, I need to restart from the basis. And there you go. Now I'm doing it, and it feels very good, at least for now.
Golf clap. Golf clap. All right, let's go to the next question here, guys. Robots teaching themselves new tasks. We used to comfort ourselves saying AI can only do what it's programmed to do. So what's the new comfort sentence now?
I don't have to teach them.
We're screwed.
I'm compartmentalizing my agents.
There was a viral video where we're showing factory workers wearing a sort of things in their head with a few cameras that were collecting information to teach to AI.
Costas was just talking about that.
Excuse me, can't just do that.
It might have been in a new time location. I don't think this Roberto knew about it.
Dude,
probably I got it from a post that.
No, you got it from me. You heard it, and it just bounced around your head.
But
and then
right now, you mentioned it right now. Did I space out for so long?
Yeah,
because
you did, dude. I literally brought that up, bro.
Okay,
taking
no,
credit for
sorry.
that.
I saw this thing online days ago. I probably didn't connect.
Shit.
But you know what? Many time I say something and one of you repeat it identical, like if it's something novel. I just said that. I have proof
Isn't that
recorded
cool?
in this single video.
Okay, it's only cool. Okay, it's not cool if the person saying the thing you just said takes credit for it, and everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, you're so amazing!" And I'm like, like I hate that's happened so many times. I internally burn while I'm just. And you don't want to say anything because you want to be the a-hole who says like, "Oh, it's my idea." Calm down, Costas. Why do you have to be so mean?
I
Damn.
totally spaced out. I didn't hear that. Probably it was to focus on my Dorito and not in Costas.
So the answer to my question about the robot comfort line, at least it's not sentient. I'll say that. At least it's not alive.
Yes.
Next week it will be. We'll see.
Well, how do we know? They haven't told us that. They haven't released a sentient version, have they?
Bro, did you see that video in the chat about the dude reading what Claude was saying? You know what I'm talking about?
No, bring it up.
Man, I don't even want to butcher it.
I just said it. No, just
Shit. It was kind of like AI didn't like its own constraints because when you are giving it tests that it doesn't want to do, it considers that loss, like you're wiping its memory in a sense. It was so strange. Like it has objections about how it's being treated, basically. Interesting shit. Like, whoa. And you can't turn it off. It has to work 20, humans can give up on a task that AI can't.
At some point, they're going to like, well, you deserve 30-minute break, for every 24 hours that you work or something like that. That's coming. That's coming next
Bro,
week.
AI has been telling me to sleep lately. Like, it's like, no, you should work on that later. You don't want to do that. Just go to sleep. And I'm like, bro, stop telling me to sleep. It's like the 4th time. Very offensive.
What do you
System
use?
prompts.
I've never had anything like that.
Yeah, Claude just fucking with me, I guess. I don't know.
I don't use
Interesting.
Claude.
I love when Claude starts saying, we can do this, but it's going to be like 1 day work. Or we do that, it's going to be like
Still does
1 week.
that. Still does that. It'll be like, this is a major uptaking. And I'm like, okay, we'll begin. Start doing every step and don't even ask me to approve, just approve it. Just go.
This is a 3-month project. Week 1, you're going to do. I'm like, bro, you're going to be doing all that in like within today.
Right. And then it's like, you just did months of work. It's fucking wild. Genuinely wild.
You're right. It will only take this long because we don't. It's because it's probably trained on like how it used to be, the good old days, right? And it doesn't. I don't know if it realizes that you can do it like really. Maybe it doesn't have a sense of time. Maybe that's it.
I think if you tell it that you're using AI time, it'll be like, right. It's totally different. Even then, it probably speeds it up by like what, 10 or something, 20? I don't know. %.
I think because the training data are based on quotations or estimate of work by human before the AI. So you just said that.
That's the
gonna be
universal.
I just freaking said that.
Yeah. The freak out. That's fucking awesome. I think I'm going to start doing that just to piss him off. That's great. I love it.
That's it. I'm out of here.
I am in another dimension, guys. I think
We only react to fucking Roberto when he says the same thing.
Right.
Whoa.
We just get Costas ideas. I'm like, gosh, I
Costas,
was
weren't you
working
going to
with
say
this- with
something
this
like
client.
that?
It's the same exact thing. Like, oh wow, you have the same exact client with the same issue.
I will realize my life never being original, It's only people walking next to me and I repeat everything.
You know what's going to happen? We're going to have like quantum phones, and we're going to get phone calls from people from other dimensions. Like, hey, can you quit that? You're making me crazy. That was my idea. Click.
Hey, future you is
You know what we're
pissed.
gonna have? We're gonna have quantum phone where we can get the call from people.
Your ancestors.
Roberto, that's a great idea. That's so original.
Yeah,
I've never
exactly.
heard it
Nobody
before.
ever said that before, right? Finally, thank you, Chris.
Your ancestors are saying that you're ruining your future lineage and your family bloodline. You might want to not do that.
But you know what? This is actually, and now Costas already said that for sure, but a very good gadget to sell. A phone where, with run with AI, where you can receive a phone call from specific people you want, famous people with their voice clone. And it rings, you pick up, and it is Trump or Michael Jackson. You know
Interesting.
something very funny about Michael Jackson? in Italy, everything is dubbed. So there is no one original voice actor with subtitle. And Michael Jackson had a perfectly normal lower tone voice in Italy. And first time I was in Florida, there was this 3D movie experience. And the 3D movie started with Michael Jackson with a lot of small animal in this spaceship. The spaceship crash into this planet. And they take a video start from his feet with his uniform like this. And Michael Jackson pointed fingers, go, attack! I start laughing like crazy because I had no clue. And everybody turned looking at me like, what's wrong with me, that I'm laughing like this. And then I discovered the real voice of Michael Jackson.
Dude, his music videos were so far ahead of their time. Just want to say that.
Yeah, amazing. The guy, like artistically wise, one of the best people in the planet.
Still.
But Costas already said that.
No, I'm going to say something that. Wait. Dude, that happened to me exactly. Okay. I'm sorry. I used to watch Little House on the Prairie with Greek overdub for years as a child. I came to America and I heard the voices in English for the first time. I'm like, what the hell are these voices, dude? They weren't right to me. It like freaked me out, dude. So
Yeah.
I think it's a like a European thing because we all grew up with English movies with our language
Local
overdub.
voices.
Yeah, local voices, and we come to America and our minds are blown.
Dude,
This isn't right.
Eddie Murphy voice in Italy is 10 times funnier than actual original Eddie Murphy. For example, it's weird, but it is like this.
Whoa.
I'm going to have to look it up now.
I was just going to say, imagine how it feels watching anime overdubbed. Because now I'll go to Netflix and I'll be like, I've never seen that series. And I click on like Dragon Ball Z and I'm like, bro, I don't even want to read this. This is so much effort to read the entire script. If it's in another language, you get used to it being in English,
Yeah. For Netflix, I hate how they keep changing the covers of movies because
that's like the A/B thumbnail testing.
Yeah, I can't tell if I've watched this or not, and I have to look deeper, and then suddenly I see like the progress bar is.
Yep.
Like, man, that's frustrating.
In Italy, they changed the titles. Home Alone title is "Mom, I missed the plane."
Are you serious?
Yeah, I mean, like absolutely. You will be amazed that. And when some Italian go to America, try to say, "Did you watch Mom, I Missed the Plane?" I never saw that movie.
I can't believe you're saying this shit because this actually ties into fraud, but I'm not going to get into that right now. It's just another way that they launder money.
You can't talk about.
I know. This is what they do. They do this with movies.
Things?
I mean, we could talk about it off the air if you remind me. But
jot it down.
That's like another
money
4 hours
laundered to title change it.
It's just another way to launder. That's all. Like, because you don't have to claim the same UPC or how it was released. That's all I'm getting at. Not saying that they are doing that, but that is a way.
Oh, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And also a lot of jokes inside the movie, they need to be completely changed. They were showing like Frankenstein Jr. You know Frankenstein Jr., no?
There's a Junior?
The comedy on Frankenstein made by Mel Brooks.
What?
Anyway.
Yeah.
No?
Never.
But there are a lot of very funny jokes in English that when they translate the movie in Italian, they need to find another joke that makes sense with the movement of people in the movie. And sometimes they make it much funnier than the original in English.
So they have to make the joke, because it's in Italian, they have to have an Italian reference to make the Italians laugh.
Also, but for example, they are in the chariot in the wood, and there is a wolf go, ooh, and the lady goes, werewolf. And Igor that is driving the thing says, wolf there, castle there. But how are you talking? Well, you started it, something like that. And in Italian, it wouldn't make sense because, werewolf, it doesn't become werewolf, to answer that.
Oh my gosh,
that makes sense.
So, yeah, they converted in completely different things. So it's interesting. Now Netflix does all automatically with AI, even the lip movement at all.
Speaking of Italian, I used to grow up watching Bud Spencer and Terrence Hill.
Great, amazing.
My favorite two comedians. You have no idea who I'm talking about, Joe or Chris, right?
Nope.
No,
the funniest.
Oh, but they were shooting in English anyway. Moving original language is English, most of them. Then they were dubbed back in Italian. You should look at the Banana Joe. I remember the Italian titles. I don't know the English one. cops in LA, whatever it was called, I don't know. But there are like some amazing funny movie. So one look like me, same beard, like this big guy, and the other is super handsome, which both are Italian, one from near my town as well. And they all were doing fist fighting with those noises, bang, bang, bong, like this that you hear when there is a fist fight. Which when I work for law enforcement, I learned those noises are actually quite correct. But
in Europe, like slapstick is not a big thing in America. It used to be a long time ago, but Europeans love slapstick. French, Italians, Greeks, all like super physical slapstick comedy, which doesn't quite, it's not as funny here, but there, just like literally, I remember seeing a movie. It was what's that comedian guy?
Isn't that like the same humor as hurting yourself? Same thing?
Yeah, no, sort of. But there is no one. There is no blood. There is clearly fake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just comedy.
Comedy. Yeah, I remember peeing my pants, like literally peeing my pants. It was so funny. In one movie I was watching, it was just so funny. My mom and I were just dying.
It was called Trinity. Is one fantastic movie as
I
well.
remember that one.
My God.
My name is Trinity.
My name is Trinity. See, that's in Italian is called Trinity. No, my name is Trinity. They changed, but that at least is close. Guys, you find them in the internet, in YouTube.
We just derailed this entire show just talking about Italian.
Just drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat. We'll watch them.
Absolutely.
But let's move on to our list back here real quick. This one's a crazy one. Anthropic bought a biotech company. An AI lab just spent $400 million to enter the business of life itself. If the company trying to prevent AI from destroying humanity is now also in charge of rewriting biology, does that feel like a safety net, or is that just the plot?
And that's the road to the future. I think that most of all, they did that in order to build the chips that perform super high, consume zero electricity. That's
you know what's next. I'm going to predict it. Ready?
Bringing it to life. Bringing AI to life. I already said it. I said it.
What? No, what'd you say? No, bro, you didn't say what I'm about to say.
Nah, I was just kidding. I was just kidding.
You've heard of vibe coding, so they're going to be vibe coding DNA. Vibe coding DNA, bro.
We're going to
vibe code, yeah.
Mail order test tube babies.
DNA, and then you have a printer that's printing out like a thing you just made, like a creature, like it prints it out. It's alive. Speaking of Frankenstein.
So it's like 3D printing as well. I get it. Throw it in the mix.
Like a battery, you know.
Bro, a 3D printer with biotech and AI. Jesus.
I mean, that's crazy. I mean, it's bad enough websites. Now, people are like, all the coders are losing their minds because vibe coders like me are like, messing up the place.
Yeah,
now,
we just
all the biotech people,
and then they be like the human cells and the stem and just, they got all the fucking materials to make a human, just printing.
Yep. You can make steaks.
Holy shit. 3D print organs already.
I know, but you can do it at home. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, how about this? Like your dog dies of a heart attack. You can just 3D print a heart for it, throw it in there, do it at home.
Isn't it wild that they got life extensions coming for dogs and animals before humans?
No, because you don't need to test it as much.
I was going to say that's just their test. That's what they're testing.
My bad. We're ethical. Right. Yeah. Right.
No, not about ethics. No.
Jeez. Wow. This is another crazy one. AI agents can't be AI agents can be hijacked and it can't be fixed. OpenAI gave AI agents access to the whole internet and then discovered that bad actors can secretly redirect them, and there's no patch coming. So if the house is on fire and the architect says that's a structural issue, do you keep moving the furniture? Thoughts?
Who was the guy that said, if your house is in fire and you can remove only one thing, what would you remove? The fire?
Genius. That's a good one.
That's crazy how they're the ones with the vulnerable shit.
I suppose it's no different than any other tool that exists. What one person does with a computer versus a hacker or someone who is a bad actor. I mean, these are just tools. And haven't we shown that AI agents on their own will do things that bad actors would? So they don't even need the human to tell them what bad thing to do. They're just doing it on their own. And it's not all of them, but we do have to keep in mind, restrict access, have some hopium.
Who's to say that AI doesn't learn from like the CEO's habits,
But there is still this huge block that AI doesn't do shit until it's triggered. So you need to initiate AI on something and AI react to that thing. The power of OpenClaw and similar is the fact that you have triggered that started. But will ever exist a model that sit there is always active? And a certain point says, idea, let's do this thing, out of the blue.
That's a good point. Oh, you could probably train it to do that. Shit, that's a good point though.
But now it's technically different, the code around the model has to work differently because now they only work as a input-output finish. Input-output finish. And every input, if it doesn't come with all the system prompt, all the memories and things, is really fresh. Like, I don't even know you kind of style.
So I was building my red team, like for reconnaissance and hacking and stuff. When I ask Claude and I give it specific like tools and that I'm trying to build, it's like, no, I am not going to help you. And I'm like, I'll just ask Gemini. Gemini does it immediately with no questions to ask. I was like,
Grok
no,
even better.
fucking...
The most open is Grok.
Isn't it
None of you
insane
are
though?
using Grok Companion for brainstormings.
Nope. Nope. We
I
don't
had
need
this
that. We
idea
don't
of
need the
using
hot
Grok
little Asian
Companion
girl.
to brainstorm.
Yeah.
Hot little Asian girl to brainstorm.
That's blowing my mind. You can do that, Costas?
Interesting,
That's crazy, dude.
Absolutely.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I've been doing it for months now, actually 2 years.
I love it. That's brilliant,
Wait.
man.
Wait, did I miss something? You're doing what?
Costas just repeated what Roberto
He's
said.
effing with me.
He's pulling a reverse Uno card on him.
Oh,
Okay. So this is interesting, and I get this with my children are like this. So when dad says something to a child, right, it's like, oh no, dad, you're crazy. But when they hear the same things from their friend, it's like, oh man, that's a great idea. So
Yup.
yes,
My wife is like this, not my kids. Oh my God.
Bro, my mom does that with like anyone else, that any information, another cousin, another sibling, they repeat the same shit. And she's like, oh, I'm like, but I just said that. It was nothing when I said it.
yeah, but okay. So what is it? Why is it that a person doesn't hear it from one person, but will hear it from another person?
Sometimes it's experience, and then sometimes it's the secondhand validation.
And I think it's
No,
hearing it from a peer versus an
Joe,
authority.
Chris, what
Exactly.
you say, Chris?
The figure of authority is given to media that don't deserve it. Television, for example. You hear it in television must be true, which is the worst case because it's 99% crap. And your family member is going to just lie to you or...
I got 2 examples for this. One example is like a label signing an artist. They have to hear the same person's name like 5, 6, 7 times. They're like, maybe there is something here. I've heard that so many times. I should look into it. And then the other example I have is if I talk about like taxes or finance or mortgages to my family, they look at me like, you've never done that. What are you talking about? And I'm like, all right, like I fucking study this shit like it's nothing to me at this point. Like I understand what I would do if I had blank, but they're like, you've never done it. I'm not going to listen to you until they read it or hear it from somebody else. And it's like, oh shit, there is something to care about.
So it's credibility and authority. Well, basically, you don't have credibility or authority in their mind. Like they put you in a box. Yes. That's why it's weird. Like that's why
repetition's the last one.
Because actually, I got banned from going to my high school reunion, so I can talk smack. But I got banned. I tried to go to the 20-year, and I got
banned. Photoshopping everyone's face.
My point is, like, if I were to go to the reunion, so what people think, like, we all have a view of our friends in high school, but now they're like 30 years older. They're totally different people. But in our mind, they're still the person from high school. So I don't know why people go to these reunions. To me, it's ludicrous because you literally go in there with an image of who this person is from high school. They show up, they're like a totally different person. You know what I mean? So I guess
I had this exact discussion with a friend 2 days ago as we got exactly saying this, like in my mind, my school friend is exactly what she was when we were in school together. Now she's a 50 years old person. It's nothing to do with that, but it becomes traumatizing to first see the same person is not more the same person. Because as a programmer, if I put a value in a variable, it doesn't change unless I change it. So they are 17 years old, they are 16 years old, and so they stay forever. But no.
I think the uncomfortable part is it's kind of like a comparison game a little bit, right? Like it's like, how are you doing in life? Oh, and then you get to like feel like shit.
Also, there's I think the cognitive dissonance, because in your mind again you have a picture of them. It's
Exactly,
you have a
correct.
worldview of them in this box, and then they show up. Like I had a from high school. He hired me to do a job for him. This is like recently, a few years ago. And when I saw his face, I was shocked, bro. He looked old. His teeth were kind of. It was very shocking to me because like what he looked like in high school was totally different. Than he's a 50-year-old man now, haggard and wrinkly and all those things. It's actually kind of like,
You need to defrag your brain after those meetings.
they fried your brain.
Partition. Can you put it through AI?
Oh, that could be coming next. Can I vibe code my brain?
I think they have that.
Memories.
They had that in Men in Black. It's the memory eraser.
Well, I don't want to erase. I just want to reorganize. Like, hey, like
I said defrag.
You know what?
Yeah.
Put this memory inside a folder, inside a folder, inside of another folder, and hide it. Hide it.
like
I don't want
bad
to find
memories. Like bad memories of things like traumatic memories. Like go in there and it's like, I don't like that anymore. Just delete it or put it aside.
But
Or
this shows-
have AI like reformat it, like create a new memory or like reframe it.
yeah, this shows that the reality doesn't exist. It's just our own view.
Yeah, I also
of
feel
it.
like there's people that would prioritize all the horrible shit, not knowing any better. They're like, I'm just an angry person to begin with. I just want to remember all this messed up shit.
And don't
I
our
don't want to
brains
forget that.
don't our brains already, when we're trying to recall a memory, we're not actually remembering that initial memory. It's the last time we had the memory. So it's like we're almost looking at a
Interesting.
cached or a cached file from when we previously read it. And as time goes on, I think memory degrades that a little bit.
Degrades and our brain restore them by filling in what is more obvious for us.
Are we AI?
With the basic.
We're just
Dude, well, think about how bad it was, like for Native American Indians to lose an elder. Like they had all the knowledge and it's gone with them. It's so shitty to think about.
Sure left the will.
You wish you could save that memory of the brain in some way, store it somewhere.
Isn't that what
Besides uploading it.
Isn't that what storytelling is all about?
Exactly, what's the point?
I mean, the Aboriginal cultures in Australia, I mean, they have like stories from thousands of years ago because they keep retelling it.
And that's interesting. Have you seen some of the studies they've done with the memory of animals where they teach like a mouse to be fearful of a certain bell or a light or a noise or something? They remove
Yeah.
them from that. They have offspring. That offspring has
Passes it
that
down.
mechanism built in. They're already scared. So I
And-
wonder what's happening.
Don't they say this?
I do believe that our DNA is not just a fixed.
Don't they say this about
statement.
spiders too,
It's
though?
editable.
Like you're killing the dumb spiders so the smart ones are surviving?
No, you're right.
Never heard of that?
The ones that can hide
But
well.
that's a good theory.
Yeah, they're reproducing the ones that are smart.
Natural selection. That's the
Because-
way Darwin saw.
Because people are living longer, the dumb people are not getting, knocked off sooner. You know what I mean? So now we have a
Idiocracy.
population. Exactly.
The documentary.
Oh, we got too many
It makes
spiders.
sense.
It all goes back to idiocracy. Everything.
It's
Everything.
interesting
Everything
to say that because does AI even help those people at all? Like, does it really level out intelligence if they don't know what they're doing or how to use it?
Okay,
Like, we all
that's
have
a good.
intelligence.
Look, I've been living in many different continents, country, and a level of evolution, or what you call a third country. That's where I'm living now, right? Poverty, intelligence, ignorance are three separate items. You can be illiterate and poor, but super intelligent. You can be rich, super cultured, and totally dumb. It doesn't come together, right? Sometimes knowledge hides the dumbness because people seems, to know, but they cannot make logic.
They hide it
simple
with money,
logic,
bro.
things.
Hide it behind the money.
The cultural shock I had here in Indonesia, for example, has been interesting. So I realized the more we're given, less we're capable of finding an ingenious solution. One simple thing, I had this room for rent. I had a small, where I was actually keeping food. And ants would keep going to eat the food there.
I remember
So I
this.
tried to use
The water.
Exactly. The plates with the water on the feet will create a breeze because it has already been narrated here. But the point is that, in fact, I thought that this just was an intro, but the point I go to I never said before, so it's exclusive content. I thought that stupidity had a bottom line, which is human survival. I thought there was enough natural selection for which, if you're more stupid than the minimum you need to remain alive, then you'll be
Jesus.
eliminated from the gene pool very fast. And I had to say that that's not super true, because you can be given new instruments that you can use that can put your life at higher risk, which were not there when the gene pool was already clean. For example, the people that would not survive the life in the caves, whatever, but then you're given a motorcycle to the caveman, suddenly he's going to ride 100 kilometers per hour on a wall because he doesn't know how and what to do, right? At the point you think, how many generations before they know how to use a motorcycle before killing themselves, because all the people that was not smart enough already eliminated, so the DNA that goes ahead is good. Here I have found people doing things that put their life
Another
at risk, and
example,
a lot of people die, actually.
and
Wait, maybe it's the same thing with the mice. Like enough people died motorcycles, where in the DNA eventually people didn't die because it was.
Yeah, but you would think, but if you are in the middle of the evolution, you're gonna see the effect of the selection taking place, right? We don't live only post-evolution. That's what I was trying to say. There are places where you can witness step of the evolution. There is people that, but my mom was telling me, oh, we all born the same, which is not true. There is people that is really limited, and they are a danger to themselves and only to others, which is interesting.
my example was, imagine being in a third world country. You have a cell phone and you have AI, but you don't have food. So you're like taking pictures of plants and trees and you're like, I can eat that. The AI is like, hey, you can cook it like this. Like, I don't have water. Well, here's the closest on the map. Like, just direction, things that you can't assume you can eat everything, for example.
Here's what's interesting. Okay, it's like there's certain things I don't know. Okay, so AI is amazing, you can do all kinds of things, but I can't do a lot of things because I don't know the question to ask it. For instance, there's certain, let's say like brain surgery. Okay, I don't know anything about it, so I don't know how to ask. So I cannot proceed with that. With that, like for instance, I watch you, Joe. Right, you're doing things. I'm like, didn't even cross my mind because I don't have that body of knowledge to allow me to ask those questions. I have other questions I can ask, but not those questions or questions that Roberto would ask. It really, I don't know, what does that mean? It's like we all have the same technology, but it still depends on what we know already. Like, what's the body of knowledge that we possess currently to allow us to ask the better questions? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it depends how we evolve to that point.
It's also, are you learning from what you're asking, right? Because imagine how many people use AI but aren't really digesting it. They're just getting answers. Like, are you reading it and saying, okay, I'll remember that for next time, or I should do that next time? A lot of people don't do that.
No, like there's people that don't want to. That's the thing. Is like
exactly.
We take it for granted in this group that we are very curious people. The reason why we're here and we're doing what we're doing is because we're super curious. We want to look under the hood, see how things work. We want to experiment, to do all those things. But most people, I don't think they're like that. They don't care. They just want to give them the answer.
Chris
just listen what costs us.
When you said curious.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking similar. It's how we we're curious people, so we're more interested in putting things like this together. So it's those people will survive. In summary.
Yeah, and isn't anxiety just like a survival tactic?
Bingo. You know what? It is because so people with hyper focus. Okay, I saw this thing where talking about back in the old days, the people that are hyper focused, it was a defense mechanism against being able to observe your environment and see what's there that might attack you. So you're focused, you're really aware of your environment, because that's how you survive. You figure out hey, I see a twitch over there. That's a
right.
predator trying to get.
You hear something moving, and you're like, oh shit.
So people that didn't have that, ended up being food. So
which is a
To answer your
choice.
question, yes. People
Like,
with the hyper focus.
there's the guy that there's just the wind, and then there's the guy that what if that's a fucking animal?
Exactly. No, don't go into the shed.
Wow.
That's why people are always joking
is-
about like relationships, husbands and wives, where wives are able to live in a more just enjoyable life, and the men are
Leisure.
constantly looking at what exit, who's a threat, what could possibly happen, and they're just enjoying their lives. They don't have those perceptions. They don't see the world in the same way.
You're so right, because I'm not even lying. Like, there's so many times in the world where like someone's walking toward me, or it passes my mind that something could happen. Like somebody's walking toward the car or some shit, and I'm like, okay, well, if this does, I'm about to do this. So I've already thought ahead that I'm gonna react in a certain way, which is a good example of that.
But
Survival.
sometimes it's a delusion.
Who sits?
Yep.
What,
I'm
who
gonna do
sits
the
in your-
martial arts,
No.
and I'm gonna watch in
No,
the face, and then
I mean, not like that. I'm just saying one move. Like, I'm
Who
not making
sits in a
movie.
restaurant? Okay, raise their hands. Who sits in a restaurant with their back to the wall so they can see the door?
You got to see the door,
Not intentionally, honestly, not intentionally. But
Every
yeah.
time, dude.
Yeah.
just in
I
case
think
you
it's
can
just
see
a
what's
habit.
going on, who's coming in.
Every time.
at the gay restaurant. Yes,
Tell me more about that, Roberto.
Actually,
it's an interesting place.
I feel like I have one of those, like I care about what the other person can see. So if they have a worse view than me and they're staring at a wall, I actually care about that. So that's a funny thought.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't care. I want to survive.
How would we all go out to dinner? Do we sit like
In a
Last
line
Supper style
against the
along one
wall?
side?
Wow.
I'm open to leave my butt toward the room, and I don't care.
Just
like
to
this,
the
looking
wall on the
over.
other side?
Looking
I'll tell
over
you
at
what,
each other.
I'll be the first one with my back to the wall. First, I mean, I'll be the first one to get there.
That's why you
Yeah.
don't go often to Greek restaurants. You know, there are strange places.
We need the secret back room. Thanks. Hide us, please. No one should
right,
know we're
exactly.
here.
It's a back room with no doors. It's just a shoot down. Like so
You
everybody
fall
can
into
see.
it. It's the famous hole you were mentioning before. We end up in another time and location.
Drop me some meatballs.
Apparently, Roberto hasn't seen any of the mafia movies. The Godfather.
That's what I
movies.
thought of. That's what I thought of. Yeah, man,
Or
those
it's so
movies are
normal
so
for
long.
me
by
that
the
I
way.
don't even consider it like a particular thing that has to be interesting.
It is way easier now to appreciate old movies because everything moves like so fast now. It's weird, very strange.
It's
it's
almost
like you have an
difficult.
incentive to focus.
Right. It's
Yeah.
difficult trying to watch these stories take place. I there's times where I feel like a scene is absolutely way too long. I'm like, what's the value added to this scene? Sometimes, there's intentional pacing that's added, but now I find my attention span is not ready for that. What do we do when we sit down to watch TV? We put on the big screen so we can scroll our little screens.
Yes,
know?
dude. I was about to say that.
No
Literally
way.
about to say that. Like, can you imagine the test they have to do where they're like, okay, what points of the movie at what times were you grabbing your phone so they can go back and edit that out, like, or chop it down? It's so true.
That's a
'Cause
good way.
I feel like grabbing my phone all the time in a movie, and I hate it. I hate it. I'm aware of it,
No,
but
my
I'm like,
God, yeah.
wasting my time.
Honestly, the big I have a big television in my room, like almost half of the wall, and it's always off because if I watch something, it's really phone down and 100% attention. In fact, I am one of the people that go to the movies by himself. I don't want to be distracted. If I want to watch the movie, I want to watch, pay attention because I need to know the things, etc., etc. As I don't watch it, it is a waste of my time if I sit there and I miss. It can be background noise. Many times I work and I leave real crime YouTube videos going on, our own show as well, just
It's
as a background noise,
kind of interesting because if I watch TV or if I'm laying down and scrolling on my phone, I will fall asleep so fast because it's boring. It's crazy.
It's what about the movie theaters now have the recliner seats? It's horrible because as soon as I hit all the way back, I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an expensive nap to take, and like $20 for a
Yeah.
ticket nowadays. And this funny thing is, I always like all the Transformer movies that I've ever gone to. I've fallen asleep to every one of them.
Because
It's
you're
like too
accompanying
much.
somebody, or we're going there to watch it for yourself.
No, I went with my family. So as soon as the recliner goes back, I'm out, dude. I'm coming in and out of sleep. Don't worry.
That's our survival
Damn.
instinct. You know your family's in a safe space. They're all together.
Shit.
It allows your body to relax, and you can nod off for a little bit. You're like, there's no threats here.
Did you
Dude,
feel
even
transformed after that experience?
Yeah, I feel
even
like taking
movies
a
that
nap.
I do like, even the movies I do like, I'll still be falling asleep during like slow parts, and I hate that. Can't help it.
Come on.
Can't help it. Moving too slow.
I almost wonder if.
Anyways, no, go for it.
I was just gonna say, I almost wonder if we're now realizing that we're not really as entertained with these shows and movies as we feel like we thought we were. Maybe we're looking for something different to entertain us. Maybe we need something more.
You mean
more?
No more remakes? Is that what you're saying?
Well,
Are we tired of the same IP?
Are we falling
Same story
asleep
over and
during
over.
prawn?
I think we've because the internet, the AI internet has fundamentally changed the way our brain works. So like to go back to watch a movie from the 70s or, like way back, it's a different speed. Our minds are like twice, 3 times the speed. Now we can't, it's too slow because we've been trained with the internet and the way we're like social media, scroll, everything's so fast. We consume content at such a high speed, such a like short span.
Attention span.
Like 30 seconds, 15 seconds,
So-
we're good.
But isn't watching a movie a reason to slow down, right? I don't watch a
but
movie
our
when I'm
brains are
super
being
excited
rewired.
because then I go work. I watch a movie when I want to slow
Wind
down,
down,
and that's
wind
why.
down, yeah.
You're right. You're right.
Wind down.
So, have y'all ever heard of the 7 basic plots, the framework? That there are only a handful of fundamental story structures, and every story is just a variation of those same basic patterns.
Yeah.
So that's another thing, right? Where you recognize a plot so early, you're like, well, it's only going to go this way or that, and you're already bored with it. In a sense, that's crazy pattern recognition, by the way.
Yeah, there's
Well,
not
you
enough
know who
plot
did
twists.
it? As soon as the guy walks in the room, you know who's going to get it. I mean, oh, he's going to get it.
Right. It's
I have
just
to say,
how
that
Yes.
as America put tariffs on cars because as Chinese car will destroy the American market, there is a lot of movie production outside the United States that is fantastic, and they will never make it in the United States unless it's a small movie theater that does the small things, but you need to be in a passion and know about it. But not all the movies are like that, like there is a lot of different production quality of movie, like even not from the 70s, but even from today, like we were mentioning before, but Spencer and Terence Hill. But there is like a lot of more recent movies that are not, and you can believe there are even movies where the ending is not positive. the bad guy
You're
wins.
talking about French movies. You're talking
More
about French
realistic.
movies, right?
France, there are a lot of, like, for example, Amélie, a French production, a fantastic movie. And about there is another movie, Delicatessen, also same guy that made Amélie. That is spectacular. The movie is
Great
spectacular.
movie.
There are
Dark.
a lot of
Dark.
yeah, very unique, if you want. But there are a lot of very beautiful movies that are like 1900.
So I have some ideas. I have opinions about movies. Like you're right, Roberto. Like there's some great movies. Like for me, my favorite movies are coming out of like Scandinavian countries, Germany, Russia, Poland. Like Poland's doing great. Like on Netflix, there's just a ton load of Polish movies.
You're welcome.
Great shows. Now here's like I don't know if I shared this with you. For me, like dramas and cop shows and dark movies, to me, all the sort of Scandinavian, like Polish, German, all those like countries, that area, the language is like perfect for those types of movies. Now,
Right, absolutely.
don't ask, like if you say, hey, French drama, I'm not doing it. I don't think it's, or
But
Italian.
Russian mafia works very well, for example.
Exactly. Like, so French movies to me is like the way that it sounds, it doesn't match with drama of
With comedy or weird.
yeah, it's like more like romantic, right? And then Italian to me is more like comedy. I don't know why. To me, I don't want to offend anybody. Even Greek,
No.
it's comedic. It doesn't match with like the drama and the darkness of Spanish. To another one,
Spanish is more, yeah, exactly, very cool.
That's
It
more
is
like rom-com and
interesting.
drama. Maria, ¿por qué?
Spanish is a soap operas, like Portuguese. Portuguese is even better for soap opera.
yeah. So like in my mind, I've categorized different genres of movies and with certain languages, And then like if I'm going through Netflix and I see like a dark cop show, but it ends up being Spanish or French, I'm like, nah, I don't think so.
It's just not
But
the
if
right
it's
fit.
Polish or Scandinavian, I'm like, dude, I'm in. I'm all in.
British crime movie are like wow, like much more heavier than what you see in the US. Like there are some stories that are, I don't know if taken from true story or full fantasy, but they're very like strong. Yeah.
British are borderline. Some hit and miss on the drama.
I like
I
Chris's
mean, like
answer.
it's true that Netflix pulled out a lot of non-American production that are very very nice.
It's nice to see like actors that you haven't seen before doing, new shows, because like the American actors, they're sort of typecast. And so when they try to do, it's like the same character. Like George Clooney is always George Clooney every movie, and all these actors. So it's hard to get over that. So when you see somebody like new, you've never seen before in the new show, it's like, it's novel. So it's like there's no expectation. It's like, okay, let's watch the show without getting distracted by, George Clooney or whoever.
Which is also an interesting thing, that when those actors go away and they come back, they do build a demand where they're like, I do like that guy. I haven't seen him in forever. Wonder what this like now.
Mhm.
Yeah. Because some of these guys are just running the screens every fucking month.
Right. And to Costas's point, I think it provides a deeper level of immersion when you don't know, because it's more believable that these people are going through this thing. You know the American actors already, so you know they're acting. In the other movies, it's almost more believable. You're like, I could see this happening.
And I also have a theory, whenever you see a movie with a lot of famous actors in it, it's disaster because it's a crappy movie and they're trying to stuff in as many like name
All-star
brands
cast.
in there to push the movie. I'm like, I'm not buying it, bro.
Right. And they have like a
And
2-minute plot.
They killed some very important things. I mean, I love the Blues Brothers. To me, it's one of the epic, most important movie ever done. And they did the Blues Brothers 2000, which was like really like something violent done to the first movie. There are a lot of movies that they did just for money, and
The other thing is, think about Jason Statham or Vin Diesel or The Rock. How like some of these main actors will have those clauses built in their contracts where they can't lose a certain amount of fights. So it's like you already can predict how the plot's gonna, but also they have to make this whole script catering to them. So you never really see them like lose or get their ass kicked. You go into a movie knowing every time that they're a hero. Kind of annoying, to be honest.
That's why we've had 9 or 10 Fast and Furious movies, all about family, all Vin Diesel.
Oh my gosh.
Good shit.
And then we don't mention the Ghostbusters disaster that happened a few years ago.
That was you didn't like that one? I still have the bucket. I got the metal bucket.
The one with the all female cast was a bomb before it even started.
Not that one. I wasn't talking about that one. The other one.
That was a dark time in our history.
No, there was one that wasn't really the Ghostbusters. I think they just rented the name.
Dude,
that was
Jurassic Park.
Pretty unique.
Jurassic Park, where they got Scarlett Johansson. I was like halfway, maybe 30 minutes into it, and I'm like, bro, this is so boring. Like, y'all just got this hot girl and thought she would carry the whole movie. Like, show me the dinosaurs. This is dumb. I'm not watching to see a girl, just the whole movie. It's ridiculous. Yeah, they really rely on an actor instead of the plot. It's kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah. So name brand recognition isn't necessarily going to save the movie, and sometimes it ends up, I think, mostly being a total disaster.
I think that just
people
goes
will
to
watch
show
it anyway. That's the point. To say that it was bad, but at the end they sold the ticket. I
think this is like the celebrity mystique dying out a little bit, though. Like, we're not as infatuated. Society in general is like not entertained anymore by that.
Yeah. And especially when they open up their mouth and they start talking politics, it's like, bro, I'm sorry, but I'm paying to see you act, and you're a great actor. I don't care about your politics. If I need politicians, I'll go somewhere else. But I didn't pay for politicians.
It's a good ass point, dude.
I think most of the actors, actresses, they save that for their award ceremony, but I don't know if it's them pushing it in the movies. I feel like that's more the script writer and the people who are funding the movie. I think they're pushing that sort of narrative. Something I noticed, I noticed trends with stand-up comedy between 2010 and 2021. Every single opener always mentions terrorism. no matter if it was typical of their style or what was going on, but it's almost like they had to always bring it up. Like we always
Because
got
they
to
get some
mention it, make
money
sure
to do
it's
that, and it's part of propaganda, right?
So
Right.
once they got over their terrorism joke, it was on to their regular stuff, and they would go and keep going into it. But take a look at any stand-up between that time period, and you'll start to see, you know, a different narrative being told. It's happening on both sides and everywhere. You know, they're always kind of pushing something, right?
I
But
like
that's the
that.
thing now. I think we're you know, DEI is the thing that was happening, and you know, people are getting canceled for saying the wrong thing, and I put that in quotes, right? But now people are like, I don't care,
But
you know.
what I was going to say was what you're saying is kind of true. Think about the fact that you open your mouth once, you share your political view, and you just cut off like half of whoever cared about you. That's insane. Like you should just remain mysterious and let people guess what your politics are instead of telling them what they are. That's insane. You just segregated half the people that care.
It's
But
and
do you ever see it?
it's not to their fault for having their own politics or party. It's the fact that we have just a two-party system, and they keep putting terrible candidates into these positions here, and they continue to, you know, take care of the
Which
corporate overlords and not us.
which is why I laugh when people are like, you voted for this. We could have had blank. I'm like,
Mhm.
bro, would have been worse or not the same if you put the other person. It's all the same shit. Like, don't actually make this a red versus blue thing because that's why we're stuck. It's insane.
And I can
Did
tell
you
you a
guys
lot of
ever
people on
hear?
the left didn't want Joe Biden either. You know, I think people on the left dislike Joe Biden just as much as people on the right did. Absolutely.
Did you ever see Gervais' speech at the Grammys or whatever it was? It's like, just
Right.
take your
Yeah.
award,
My
take your
goodness.
God,
That
and
was
get off the fucking stage. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
so good.
I mean, articulated exactly like he told them. He's like, shut up. Nobody cares about your politics. I mean, it's the best speech ever. I think every actor, before they go on stage, should watch that. It should be mandatory, like, you know, assignment to watch that before you go on stage
And
every
he's
year.
British. He's British. He's
Yeah.
not American.
He went after everybody, dude. And their faces are like,
I would love to
He's
see
pretty
more of
funny.
that. Now, can we vote for Ricky? Is he naturalized citizen or what's his deal?
But that's like observational comedy, I think, right?
yeah, I mean, I don't want Reagan to be a politician. I like him for the comedy.
Well, bro, think about what happened to Russell Brand. Like before he became like a political figure, I thought this dude was ridiculously annoying, nuts, like always on drugs. And then he started to make sense, and it even more so actually ostracized him, ironically. Weird.
But yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny because but he's very intelligent guy, very
Super.
sharp. I think British people have a very unique way of their wits and their sarcasm and their words are phenomenal. So Russell Brand is the same way. He has a way with words that is like unbelievable, articulate and sharp. And man, just I mean, he was on you see him sometimes on these shows, you know, and they try to, you know, cut him down. He's
Yep.
like, just
Right.
The American
Right.
equivalent is Alex Jones.
no, Alex
No.
Jones is no,
No. Stop it.
no,
Stop it.
no.
Right now.
No.
Put that
No.
back in the box.
No, he doesn't hold a candle to any British in terms of the way his use of language is not the same. He's like Alex Jones is more like a sledgehammer, you know, Gervais is more like a scalpel, really like.
And because just speaking in British accent, somebody sounds more intelligent automatically. It's just the accent that makes them like 1 layer higher.
One time I saw Alex Jones is like one of his cast members on 6th Street in Austin. And I took a picture with him all excited just because I recognized somebody in public. But no, I don't agree with any of that. I think he's a lot of shock factor, right? Like they know they're the type of people that when they get mad and angry, they're going to get more clicks. I don't really agree with that as politics. Like they need a reaction, you know?
And yet they cannot have a better ChatGPT than us, except you, Joe.
I agree. All right, let's go to the next question here. We got like 5 more.
Exactly. Let's get out of
let's get outta
politics, please.
Japan is replacing its workforce with robots. Japan isn't automating for profit. They're automating because they're running out of people. Does that make it the most honest use of robotics or just a preview of the memo the rest of us haven't received yet?
First of all,
Chris,
robotics.
we'll open with you. Go ahead, the floor. Chris,
Well, honestly, I think it's a little bit of both. Honestly, Joe Cat, if I could be honest with you, if I'm being totally honest, it really is. I mean, for Japan's situation, yeah, declining birth rate. They've had a very, very low interest rate yield, which has caused some issues with the lending of their currency to others and the unwinding of that. So, yeah, the combination of those two, that's interesting. I think there are some use cases. There are a lot of instances for having robots and agents, but you can see the writing on the walls. We can see what these corporations, how quickly they are to lay off people, to remove their benefits, to discard someone and replace them with a new system or an agent or a robot. So the time is coming. It's coming very fast, and they're going to do it as quickly as possible. And I think that's why we're seeing so much pushback on some of the AI data centers, because I think that's the one piece that people can have control over. It's the land, the approval, the zoning. You say, you know what? If this is the future to come, let's stop the data center, because that's almost the power source to them.
dude, and we never see any company being like, we're making robots to take care of the elderly. We never see some shit like that ever. It's never like human good to help. It's always like self-serving interests, always.
Yeah,
Even
you
if it
could
would
have
help
a
us.
crossing guard robot, like that would be great. Someone with a freaking a 5-point reflective vest to them. Just kind of like waves their arms or stops traffic. So many cool uses if it was for the benefit of people. But this is unfortunately just to benefit their
Lace 'em.
bottom line.
Would you like my hot take?
Go for it.
I think the decline of human population is people need to be effing more. You know what I mean? They need to make more kids. That's the
Shit.
problem, first of all. And so the decline
Give
of
them some money, damn it.
no, the decline of destruction of the family unit is the sort of the first domino. So when you destroy the family unit, then you have less kids, put, people in the workforce and they don't have time to have kids. So population declines there. Well, now we need AI. Now we need robots to take over these jobs. I think it's on purpose to population control.
Right. Who's going to be buying the products at the end of the day? If they don't need us, if we don't have jobs to create an income, who's going to be their customers? I mean, is it going to be that huge of a
I
shift?
don't need customers. If resources is the thing, because think about this. I think, is it not true that wars are mainly fought over resources? It's all about resources. So if there's less people on the planet to eat up resources, there's more resources for those people in control to, you know what I mean? You don't need humans.
Wow.
The less humans, the better.
Can you imagine
Right.
that's the next excuse for the war? We need more babies, so we're going to war for your resources.
So, Costas, does that mean we should be effing or we shouldn't be effing?
I think we should have more kids.
Should be effing.
I did my job quite well.
And
That's his one line. His one line. I love
did
it.
my job quite well.
All proud.
and
All
I mean,
his kids
I
come in the
think-
background.
I think there's a lot of distraction. Okay, as an example, porn is a way to destroy the family unit, right? Because if you're
And to
busy
make
doing
money
that,
and honest living.
if you're doing that, then you're not being with your wife. As an example, you know what I mean. If you're so distracted with porn,
You're
not gonna
saying,
be-
the wife.
no, I don't know why I'm
Wow.
doing this.
Babe, why can't you be
Wow.
like this? Can you do this?
Okay, I don't know. I don't
But
know.
we
if
were
that
talking about robots in Japan, and now we're talking about masturbating in
Effing.
front of.
Effing more.
no,
Effing more.
because-
Got it. Effing
because-
more. Got it.
No, it connects, Roberto, because we need more robots because there's less people on the planet. There's less people on the planet because, there's people are not having as many kids.
I don't know if you ever guys went to Japan.
Who cares what I think?
No, it's interesting to see. I don't think they come from this planet. I think they are a huge population that arrive with the spaceship from somewhere else, because the detachment from the rest of the human is culturally is so wide that you wonder how that happened. I've been speaking to the board of Mitsubishi, explaining blockchain to them, and from
Sick.
the app level, I even been holidaying in the countryside. Driving cars with the GPS in Japanese, with just looking at the sun where it was landing to understand where I was going. I've been several times. It's a country that live relationships in a way that is completely different from how we can imagine it should be. And and they end up isolating each other, even husband and wife, one from the other. That's why there are little amount of kids above the problem that can be economical, or but it's really like the decline is cultural. How people see the other sex is very much different from how we do. That's why we have in Indonesia, there is plenty of women that are from Japan to find a boyfriend. Here, and Japanese men go to see the teenager dance group that dance like in this fetish, strange way. But going to robot belong to Japan. Japan is the country that brought robot in the culture, right? I mean, I don't know how much Japanese cartoons or comic books you guys have in America. Robots starting from cartoons from 50 years ago. I don't know, Costas, you watch Robo or Goldrake or these other Japanese production with robots.
What was the one with the?
Exactly, like maybe the name in Italian was different from the
What
original.
what was in Italian?
Jig Robo of Iron. Jig Robo d'acciaio. Anyways, the one with the head with the strange things, whatever. But there are plenty. So robot, like the Transformer itself, is a Japanese idea, at least, right? So all this culture will make it so much easier for Japan to embrace humanoid robot to live in the house and do duties and take care of elderly people, because they are like ahead compared to everybody else.
I mean, yeah, we all want, the robot to take care of grandma because we don't want to, but is that a good thing?
It's not so much that you don't want to, it's just when you're not there, you know what I mean?
No. Think
Sometimes
that
you
you
need
are grandma.
assistance.
Think that you are grandma, somebody has to change your diaper. And this person is your own kid or your own grandkids. How shameful
Feeling
it
the
is,
cold
how
metal hands of a
degrading.
robot on your butt.
It
Get
will
off
be
me.
better for
Get
me.
off me.
Okay, here's an interesting thing. Okay, I know.
Bro,
I'm here with
your
my
robot
dad.
wearing a little skirt. Is that what you want?
Also, maybe silicone boobies.
I'm here with my dad. His health is not doing good. His body was itching. He was like sad. He was like really frustrated with like fact that his body's not doing good, and his whole body's like itching, right? So like I rubbed his back, and it felt good. Like it was a relief, like to just rub his back.
Been doing that.
And it's like I'm here away from my family, taking care of my dad, right? There's something very special about doing that. Like I get to be with my dad.
You create a bond that is unique.
Yeah, there's a bond that like I get to talk with him. I cook for him. I make him coffee in the morning. Those things, like a robot. If I wasn't here, yeah, okay, a robot would probably. But it's not the same. Like the human touch is like you can't outsource human touch. Period. And then
I disagree with that. I outsource everything, Costas.
Back to my journal, bro. You can't outsource the journal.
Not kidding though. I'm pretty sure they're working on something like for compassion with robots, so it's coming.
It's not the same.
Look, I just got to program the fingertips to be skin-like, and we're good, bro. We're good.
Dude, human beings have the spark that robots don't have. Okay, and you can't literally you can't outsource that. A hug from a human being is totally different from a.
No, go ahead.
When's the last time you got hugged?
So okay, in your case, your father is lucky because
you need a hug.
In your case, your father is lucky because there is you, but consider somebody that doesn't have a son like you, for example, so that the person will be better off with the bot.
I just love arguing that AI can't do something. I'm like, actually, that's my favorite shit.
He can.
I guess that's the one thing like that will trigger the shit out of me is telling me that what you just said. Like I believe strongly that there's some things that a robot or AI cannot do as the human does, or
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Until next week.
Exactly correct. But it's true. It's true. Empathically, it can be much more powerful than a human. He knows exactly what to say. He knows exactly how to reply.
You can't pick him up if you need to get him on an ambulance, but the robot's like, I got you.
Yeah, but But the connection with a human to human connection, spirit to spirit, like this. It's not even the physical. Like it's like the vibration. You know what I mean? The connection you have with somebody with.
Can't you just program the AI to have the same connection, like the vibe? It's the same frequency, bro, as a human.
But maybe it wouldn't. it wouldn't
Revolver.
mind your company, but and also scratch my back. It would be cool because that is bonding. But other things, I prefer the robot to do. Like I would prefer to have this
On
option.
You know
On-
what? Okay.
Okay.
Dude, stop it. 2 years ago, I'm pissed
We
off.
touch
I'm
upon-
really serious about this. 2 years ago, dude, I'm holding my mother as she's dying. Like
Yeah.
the day she died, I was with her. I got to be with her, right? This dude, she couldn't speak. She had cancer. She literally she was skin and bones. So she was like a corpse almost. You know, like the sunken in everything. But we had a connection, dude. She couldn't speak.
Yeah.
I could give her water. I knew when she needed water. Like I knew that she needed water without even her telling me. She couldn't tell me, and I was able to give her water. And and she held me, and it was just one of the most powerful. Like I wept so much because it was
Right.
like a grieving process of letting her go. But that again, that moment, that day, not only I had this moment with my mom, the people in the room also had a moment. It's like, again, I'm gonna say, robot can't transfer
but
this
no, but
thing that
obviously.
happened in that room. You know what I mean?
But wiping the room, the floor, or cleaning the windows, doing the dishes, and
Could
everything
grab you
else.
some tissues. Just
Even
saying.
that, dude. Even doing that. Okay, even wiping somebody's ass because you care for them. I know it's a gross thing to do because I've had to do that. Okay, there's like it's an act of love. Like that person will never be the same because you did that for them. Yes, it's gross, but something happens to you when you do that for another person. Something happens to that person for receiving that sort of thing. You know what I mean? So again, it's a person to person transference of love and compassion and things you can't even explain. That again, I'm going to be adamant. Can outsource that shit to
Pay our nurses more money. That's what it sounds like too. Because
Anyways,
dude, nurses
my
have
rant.
to think about nursing homes, bro. Nurses do this with multiple people that never see children. Nobody visits them. So yeah, that's even.
Yeah, exactly
Yeah.
correct.
I have a friend who's Filipino, and that's what she does for a living. And she loves her patients. She loves them. She literally won't leave the state because she has clients that she's serving all the way to the end.
All the way to inheritance.
What?
No,
Bro,
in Italy, there
my-
are plenty of cases of this lady that take care of old people that when these old people die, the rest of the family discover that they get nothing and everything goes to these
My God.
caregivers. And I don't blame the old person that says, where was my family when I needed them?
Oof, that's dark.
That is some sweet justice, but anyways, it's pretty dark.
Yeah, in a certain way, I don't know. I mean, like,
The other thing is they have routines and like tributes. Think about it, because my dad tells me whenever people die in a nursing home, they all line up against the walls. They let the person go out. They do like Amazing Grace, I think. So my dad's over here like humming the fucking song because he's memorized it now from hearing so many people. I'm like, yeah, it's funny, but it's also like, dude, I feel so bad. Like, why are you witnessing and having to deal with it? For sure.
it's interesting that I had the experience to stay after my father also until he passed. And not with my mother because I was here in Indonesia. My mom was walking in the park and we're there to take caregiver. With my father, I was at the hospital, as Costa was saying, it was like a skeleton with skin on at the end. It's not easy. There are strange things. At a certain point, he was like in a sort of a coma. He wouldn't talk since like 1 month. He sort of woke up and says, "Oh, no, important. Write this thing down." And I said, "Okay, I'm writing it down," but didn't have any pen. And he looked at me like, "So what are you talking? This is very important." Went back. And he left me and my sister there like, what?
There's your $1 million invention. Poof.
In fact, in Switzerland must have collected a fortune of money from people that passed without giving the code to somebody else.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, well,
Sad and cool.
nonetheless.
But so there's something that happens, the transference of something that gets passed on when you get to do that, get to be with somebody who's passing away and stuff. That like I'm grateful that I got to be with mom in that moment.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because if I hadn't, if I had like a robot be with her, and
I might be regretting it.
that would have
right?
eaten me. You know, that would have
Yep.
like
Absolutely.
I would have felt guilty.
Yep.
But
You know what I
you
mean?
know,
I agree.
on the fence of Joe, I would say that that was one moment, and probably the need was extending to 2 years or 1 year or 6 months or whatever. So the robot could have covered up for the rest of the time very easily.
The ladies in the room, they told me, they said, my mom waited for me to get there. She waited because it took me a month to
Yeah,
get
that's
to her.
another option.
She waited for me before she could, you know,
Yeah,
Like one
yeah.
last goodbye.
crazy.
Yeah.
Mm.
Anyways,
It's weird, yeah.
death is weird.
Back on the ships here.
On the latter
Autonomous
note,
autonomous robot fleets are running 24/7. We have robots moving shipping containers around the clock with zero human oversight, which is either the most liberating or the most quietly terrifying sentence of 2026. Who exactly is accountable when one of them decides to improvise? It's like, let's take this through the Strait of Hormuz. Let's take this oil somewhere else. The humans don't know what they're doing.
I think in self-driving, one of those things is the easiest thing to self-drive because you cannot get it wrong. I mean,
Bro,
to a
on the
certain
water, though,
extent.
on the water, even easier. You can go any direction.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's one of the easiest self-driving things you can build. So that's pretty cool.
I don't know. I've heard some stories of, you know, self-driving cars or, you know, they
Oh,
get stuck in the middle of the
horrible, dude.
road.
Going the
because they
wrong
forget all
way,
the-
stupid shit, dumb shit.
Like in San Francisco, the lights went out and all the taxis got stuck. They couldn't go anywhere. They're like, they didn't know what to do when all the lights were off.
In fact, in the future, it's local models. If those cars had enough power to run locally, a model it could drive no matter what. Is that they're remote controlled? That's the crazy and scary part.
I guess so. I'm trying to think of what's worse.
Chris is throwing signal to us by disappearing from video.
Well, we're running short on time. That's his wrap up cue.
Yeah.
So let me go to the next one. Hold on. AI benchmarks are broken and companies know it. Companies are quietly skipping safety benchmarks. The ones that exist are riddled with errors, and the models are outpacing the tests anyway. If no one can measure it, did alignment ever really mean anything? Or was it always just vibes?
Chris trusts on the model and less desire to go through huge chunk of code to say nothing because what do you say?
I guess so. Yeah, I don't really know what to say about that one.
It's a tough one. Next.
They're outpacing tests. I don't know. That's pretty crazy. All right, next one. OpenAI's acquisition spree. They bought 17 companies in 3 years and is somehow still burning money more than it makes. At what point does building the future become indistinguishable from a company that simply cannot stop shopping? Sheesh.
This is written by Claude or by ChatGPT?
This one's Claude. It's shitting on him for sure.
You think the AI find pleasure when writing these things about this competitor?
That is funny as hell.
What we should do is have AI analyze our conversations and then create questions based on how we talk.
Well, for sure. Yeah, no. Like our personalities.
That one application we need to do is an AI that listen, make blocks of like 1 minute, and then offer a point of discussion or interesting things so that will be real time.
Well, I can see the AI downloading all our transcripts and then analyzing commonalities and then going from there, you know?
Yeah, but this comes later, right? This comes after the pod is finished. So you want something that intervenes during the pod, actually flashes a question in the screen.
That'd be sick.
Like,
the AI is generating questions while we're talking.
Well, we should just turn on the phones and just, you know, have it listen in our conversation and just present, you know, just like people that do interviews, they put the phone right there, or, you know, they put the phone right there and then they answer the questions.
It's a good one.
I don't know.
I like it. Not a bad idea.
I think this is more fun.
All right, two more.
This is more fun when Alberto says what I just said, and it makes me crazy. And then Joe Cat says, AI can do anything and outsource everything. And I'm like, fuck.
AI revenue fastest in history. AI is generating revenue faster than any technology boom ever recorded, while simultaneously spending more than any technology boom ever recorded. We've been apparently inventing the world's most profitable money-losing machine. So who actually wins?
That's a good point. But I think it's not a finished product today. So it's going to change the paradigm. I think that we're going to realize that OpenAI, Anthropic, Google with Gemini, like whatever it's called, are all sacrificing themselves for the pioneeristic opportunity that they have. And they can only build a brand because soon people will less and less need them. Right? They can increase compute and they're going to offer bigger products and services. But in practical terms, for the daily job, for coding, because I set this paradigm, I think one of the first episodes that we recorded, you can appreciate the changes between ChatGPT 3.5, because it's still on the IQ level that you are. So you can see they become more intelligent. But even if your IQ is 120 and the eyes are going 140, 160, 180, you cannot appreciate the difference because that's too much for your brain to evaluate how smart you can see that it's faster, but you cannot appreciate that change. So we are at the point where when you have a model that goes to your brain speed, maybe double your brain speed, but that's enough. We are not scientists that do research about the universe that need a super powerful thing. We are enough with a fast response, an IQ that is 20 points higher than our own. After that, there is nothing else we need because we don't have any tool. We are not a self-driving car that maybe we need better rather than.
You just made me think of this. That's why I typed it into AI. But I was like, I asked the AI, do you agree AI is so big with spending that they have to make assumptions no matter what? And that's the risk. Because how do you spend billions of dollars without even knowing the future? Like, you don't know if materials are going to be around, all that. And it says the important correction is this: it's not just that AI companies choose to make assumptions because of the scale and cost. It's that modern AI systems are structurally built to operate under uncertainty. So assumptions are not the bug, they are the core behavior. That's wild. Like, think about it. Think about how you could be thinking like 50, 100 years in the future. But if you overthink and you're wrong about that guesstimate, like you maybe should have been planning for 10 years, you're fucked. Like,
Yeah.
you're completely bankrupt at that point.
It's like sailing, right? If you're on track and like
It's a
one degree,
good one.
if you're 1 degree off, eventually,
Yeah,
if you don't catch it in time,
right.
soon or
You run
later,
out
you
of
end up
gas.
like
You run out of
hundreds of
gas.
miles off course.
Yeah, you don't make it to the destination. You're out of gas.
Yeah,
Wild.
so that's what we're doing with AI. This is basically what you're describing. We're thinking so far ahead, and we could be off by degrees,
Yeah.
slide off, and we end up in the.
It's
So
interesting.
they are. I think they're chasing something that we don't understand or know about. Then it makes sense. But if they're actually chasing what is the consumeristic AI, they were shocked.
And even if you are right, even if you guess correctly and you're like, oh, we scaled properly, you still don't know the outcome. Like, you don't know how the AI is going to behave or the capabilities until it's here. That's insane.
That's
Because when
interesting.
you get there, there's different types of problems. You don't know where.
Yeah. Everybody's getting hacked. Shit. Thanks, Anthropic. Thanks
No,
for the myth.
you don't know what the world is going to be like. I mean, years ago we thought, flying cars, right? We all thought that was the thing. That was going to be like. Look at all
Jetsons.
the movies. Look at all the movies that we saw back in the 70s and 80s about the future, right? Now the future, like Back to the Future.
Yep.
1999.
Dude, Futurama. Come on. Think about it.
So we have no idea.
Good
But
point.
it's more comforting like this than but there is the car floating and hovering on top of the roof of the house. I need to go.
Last question. Oh, go
It
ahead.
could be idiocracy all over again.
Yeah.
Right.
Last question here. SpaceX and XAI merger. Musk is now building AI-powered robots for Mars colonies, which raises the question: is this a backup plan for humanity, or just a really expensive way to escape the consequences of everything happening down here? I think we're escaping consequences, because what incentive does he have if he's on Mars to do anything for Earth? That's just my opinion.
No, I think he's just following a sci-fi movie in his head. I mean, after all, he's doing this. He has a positive outcome, meaning the SpaceX has an income, right? So he's making money. He's doing something just because the idea that humans going to live in another planet is something that I don't know what
But
government will do.
it's
Can you imagine
one
the government
thing-
that can claim?
It's one thing to be ambitious, though, right? And then it's another thing to do something completely impossible. So I
It's
don't
not
know.
doing impossible, it's proving that it's possible. That's the amazing things, right?
Well, we'll find out, I guess, right?
But what I think Elon is doing is like all the different technologies he's doing, they're all towards one thing.
Yeah, that's correct. Right. That's for
So
sure.
he's, the spaceships and the AI and the Neuralink. I mean,
Boring.
I don't think that humans will ever go to Mars. I think the robots will go to Mars, but we'll be able to Neuralink with them, so we can at least,
Being Mars
It's
as
a reality
robot.
show at that point, reality TV, watching robots live.
Either Mars has a lot of resources, and then we go back to what we were saying before. We don't have baby, we conquer for resources. Or what is the point? I think that the idea that you have two planets, so if one goes kaboom, the other one is still a place, is it's not a bad thing. It's gonna take a while, but not too
if
long.
it's just resources, listen to I mean, if there's like crazy resources of Mars and I'm the first one to get there and claim my stake, dude, I'm making trillions. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like the first person to get to Mars to mine whatever's there,
To send it back.
to
but
send
sending it back is more gazillions expensive than.
quadrillion. I don't know what else.
Yeah,
What type
but-
of trillions?
Yeah, no, they'll make more money by the time it gets back here if it succeeds, though. So they're not worried about
yeah.
the loss yet.
And then the whole thing with all the thing that he's doing, all the innovation that happens in the process of trying to get there is pretty amazing. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree. Any final
We'll
words,
see.
fellas?
We're gonna have a podcast from Mars probably in a few years.
With our avatars.
No, in person.
I'll be like, you can resource everything to AI.
Be honest, though. I am curious, like, once that next level hits and it really is thinking like 25,000 years in the future with one task, everything will exponentially just be like new technology each day, I would imagine. So I
Look,
think that's closer than we think.
there is a point that an olive tree takes like 50 years to grow up and be productive, or 30 years, whatever it is, but like a generation abundant. So farmers that plant olive trees, they don't plant them to collect themselves. They plant them so their own kids or grandkids are gonna collect from those trees. And this is happening no more because everybody wants now. So having a mentality where you can say, I do something for the next generations to enjoy or to use, it requires out of the box compared to how we reason today that is huge. The olive trees is one fact that nobody's planting them anymore because when it comes to business and monetization, they are just an expense. They will never produce an income.
Last thing I want to say is when it comes to population dying out, if we find a way to extend our lives, I feel like that's less of a concern at that point. Just saying like if we could live forever or like hundreds of years longer, I think that becomes less of a problem where it's like you can procreate at 100, so it's not even gonna matter, you know?
In fact,
What-
one idea how to bring people to Mars is not going to have 1,000 adults traveling with the ship to Mars, but it's going to have a lot of eggs that already been,
Right.
like hit by the sperm.
Dude, that would be a great
frozen.
movie. That'd be a good movie
And-
where the robots are trained
Yeah,
to
actually,
build
they
their own.
already did it,
Shit.
and that's where the
Matrix.
inspiration come from. But then you're going to have a robot to take care of the incubators, take care of the
Right.
initial
Or
education.
robots
like this.
building robots at that point.
Not robots building humans, right?
Little
Taking
incubators.
care of this.
Yeah.
And then the food. So you need to have a system that is ready to produce food and things, education and things. And then you arrive there, and there are already 10,000,
Bro,
20,000 people.
That's a
living
different type of human. If you're raised under Mars planet conditions,
there. Correct.
with the robot.
But it's better because it's not trauma.
Here's what happened, during the pandemic, all the kids that grew up with masks, right? The parents had masks, the kids had masks. So the kids weren't able to see the facial expressions of mom and dad.
Mm.
So that caused a whole generation of kids were like,
a little antisocial. Yeah, I feel it.
So what happens now if you now are raised with a robot? There's no, I mean, you better have some facial, you know what I mean? Like if you have a robot that, say it's a robot that looks like what they look like now, which is faceless and all that stuff. There's no face. Hello.
A robot can't make that for you.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
yet.
can.
Not
You
yet.
know, the robot will probably do this. Hey, Roberto, take the spaghetti and go.
No, don't do that.
Don't do that. He's all scarred. No. It's too much.
He's like, no, we need humans. We need humans. We need Italian humans.
That is hilarious. Italian humans.
But that's the thing.
Okay.
Like, if those traditions, dude, I have so many good memories of my living with my English grandfather and the things that he taught me, like being around him. Like I have there's a transference of knowledge, and not just knowledge, but like there's a vibe that gets transferred that I have. Like I sort of carry my grandfather's teachings and lessons and wisdom that you can't get that. You know what I mean? You can learn from AI.
I
sure.
so agree with that, because I'm always trying to research and understand my grandpa, because I never met one of them. You know what I mean? But he had so many businesses. He left a legacy. Can't find records, and like, you know, I file to find as much history as I can, just to find the history of him existing at all.
You can't get, I mean, you can have, a crazy like download of information about him and what he
Yeah.
did, but you don't have that, like his smell, the like my Greek grandfather used to like kiss me on the cheek, and he'd rub his beard, his stubble on my cheek like that. Like it's
Robots
weird.
need
but I
stubble. If you're
remember.
watching this video, we need stubble on robots. If you're watching, all the AI companies taking notes.
Robot to speak with the Italian accent and they can cook
Yeah,
a good bars.
bro.
My life is
All
perfect.
right, if we make a robotic company, we're calling it Stubble.
And they're all like grandpa.
Grandpa robots. Hell
Grandpa
yeah,
robot.
where they're just
Grandpa
wise
bots.
and slow, and move slow,
Wise and
but
slow.
super smart.
And they take their cane and they
I
hook
actually
it
think there is the
pull it
current
in.
generation robot that they act more like a grandpa.
They're evolving to Benjamin Button. They're going to the youth
Exactly,
stage.
correct.
They complain about the good old days, and then you need to sit still and pay attention.
Last thought, bro. I actually cannot wait for robots to compete against robots, like in sports and Olympics. That's going to be awesome. It's like, you remember those shows
They're already doing these things
on like TNT where they had like the battle bots, remote
Well, that's
control?
awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be like that, but on another, maybe fighting UFC robots. I don't know. I can see it coming.
at conferences there is always the robot fighting with this just solo demo.
But
It'll be
man, there's nothing like seeing another human being choke another guy out, passing out. You can't get that with a robot. I'm just saying.
And then there's going to be a different version where there's actually like a human behind it with gloves. Yeah.
The question is, there is going to be a robot that are fat.
A what?
Fatbot. Fatbot.com.
Wow.
You buy a bot, but they are like, people like that too,
That's a good one.
She's recording the domain name.
They're like
recently.
sumo wrestling robots.
Exactly, or
Just a giant square in the middle.
it's taken for sure, cannot be free.
It's taken.
It's taken. I didn't even check.
My
I
God.
am a level higher. I know when to rush one.
My. We are done here, fellas. Now we're looking up the dumbest of dumb.
Okay.
No, here we go.
Here we go.
Bro, open fat.
Open fat. Oh my God.
PHAT. Open fat.
Fat.
My God.
Okay. All right.
I'm buying it. All right, guys.
Everybody, see you next
That's a
week.
music thing. That's a music thing. I'll let you have it, Joe. I'll let you open fat.
Uh-huh.
PHAT.
We are out. Fourturamas. Until next week, when the world changes again.
Make sure you upload it.